Yeah.
I should do the preamble thing because I'm trying to do this in the record instead of recording it later. But
Mhm.
this is a new Theatre Crude project thing that we're doing that is very similar to the last thing, only now it's more locally focused.
Mhm.
So kind of, I don't want to say forgetting about past festival participants because they're all great and I love getting in touch with them, but I just want to try and make this particular project is more focused on what's happening in Oklahoma City or Oklahoma, if I can broaden the scope, and talk more about local theater and what people are doing. Uh, if you have an idea for a catchy name of what that could be, so I don't have
Oh
to go
goodness.
through that long rambling intro every single time, I take it.
Catchy name. I don't know.
That's all right. You think
Are
on
you
it.
sorry?
You think on it. That's all right.
Okay. Okay.
You are Derek Kenney, and
That is me.
you are the Jewel Box Theater these days.
I am part of the unit that is Jewel Box Theater. I serve as the production manager and artistic director here. I wear a lot of hats, but we would be nothing without the people that got involved with the theater since we moved. That was kind of the point where things changed, is when we moved locations. We're still in the same general property that the old iconic Egg Church was located, but we are now at the other end of the parking lot, and therefore everything else changed with that move, including new management. And I am that new manager, and I'm happy to be here and doing some great work with Jewel Box and local theater as a whole.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very excited. Um, I'm glad to know somebody who is so intimately involved with what Jewel Box is doing, so I can come to you for all of the insider information,
Yep, I've
which
got
you
it
don't
all.
have to share on this recording. That's fine.
Not a problem.
But yeah, the other thing I should get out of the way early here, because I don't want to bury this too far. This is also the video in which the special announcement, confetti, Theatre Crude Fringe Festival 2022, taking place this September 15th through the 24th, is going to happen at Jewel Box Theater.
Woohoo! Woo! Roller coaster arms. Yeah.
Yeah, Muppet
Exciting.
Arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Super excited to have you guys come out to our new little space. It's still a work in progress, but I mean that's the MO for Fringe, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, we're excited to have you all there, and it's going to be a fun festival. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we're excited too. We're really looking forward to it. And before people start asking questions, everything with Factory Obscura is great. They are just incredibly popular, and they have got a lot of stuff going on. And still go check them out, still see everything that's happening over there. We just couldn't make our schedules work out this year. So that's why we're at Jewel Box. But again, exciting adventure, trying new things, seeing what's going on. It's all part of the process. So
yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. We talked. We went out to eat with each other. What was it, 2 days ago? So I'm seeing a lot of you.
Yeah.
And it was discussed that it's kind of cool that this festival is held at a different location every year. But ideally in the future, you'll be able to find a place to call home, because it's difficult to find a new place every year, I can imagine. And I do not envy you all in the efforts you have gone to try and make this happen year in, year out as successfully as you do. So kudos to all of you up there.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's all part of the adventure, is how I like to look at it. You never know what to expect from Theatre Crude Fringe, including its location.
Including its location. You change every year. You are not the same Adam every year that I've seen. You're a very fluid man. Everything at Theatre Crude, including its Adam, changes every year.
Just
Muppet arm.
loosey goosey. I felt like making a chemistry joke, but the one wasn't coming to me quick enough. So there you go. Insert chemistry joke here. I'll do that in
Okay.
post.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. So what's going on at Jewel Box? You've got rumors going on right now, and Amen Corner coming up soon.
Yeah. We've got a very diverse season. Lots of different playwrights, lots of different styles of theater that we're doing here. Right now we have rumors going on, a Neil Simon classic. A lot of the people who have been to Jewel Box in the past would recognize that playwright and his work. And we're excited to continue on the tradition that Jewel Box has been known for, but in the same light, we're also excited to bring in new works. Not necessarily new works per se, but new works to Jewel Box. The Amen Corner by James Baldwin is one of those, and super excited to bring such a talented, diverse cast into this space. Upon recording this, they are starting rehearsals this coming Monday, so it's coming up quick. And we're still trying to work out the kinks, but I couldn't be more excited for that show. And then after that, we're going to have our Streetcar Named Desire, another classic, but still one that's new to Jewel Box audiences. And then after that, we're wrapping it up with a brand new farce. So it's a pretty exciting season, a pretty expansive season, definitely. And we're looking to that be somewhat of the brand of Jewel Box moving forward, is very diverse and unique works that will speak to everyone. And I'm really excited for that because we live in a very diverse and unique city. And the theater community here, as you've shown through Theatre Crude, is itching for new ideas and for new people who may not have been in the limelight for very long to be able to share the work that they want to present to others. And Jewel Box, I am trying to make a haven into that. And so far, it's been rather successful. And I'm happy with how things are turning out. We're growing, and we're gonna keep on trucking up here at Jewel Box Theater.
Yeah, that's the theater way. Keep on trucking.
Yeah,
But
you were able to see one of our more ambitious works a couple months ago in Brief Encounter, though. So
yeah,
that was one
great to see.
Check out. I was very happy to bring that in. Ron Burton, who's worked with Theatre Crude in the past, and I know just from auditions and collaborations up here, because everyone knows everyone in this company. So I went up to Ron when I was trying to figure out what we were going to do this season, and I was like, Ron, what's a show that you've always wanted to direct but haven't had a place to do so? And he told me this new adaptation of Brief Encounter, and it was fantastic. I'm very proud of how that show came out, and considering it was what Ron had in mind, I think that format of going to directors and asking them what really speaks to you is a good one to have moving forward with Jewel Box, because I think directors want pieces that overall are something that they can relate to and something that maybe touched them in the past. I have a few shows up in my noggin too that I've always wanted to direct but never had a place to do so. So maybe Jewel Box can be that for somebody out there. We are tentatively thinking of possibly even advertising it at, this is the first time I'm telling you this, so bear with me, possibly even advertising it at the festival of having a day where directors a pitch day for directors to come in and pitch their ideas to Jewel Box. Because I don't want to just go out and find the people I know. It's a big city out there, it's a big state, it's a big country, and we want to bring in people with a bunch of different ideas and perspectives. So we're thinking of having a day like that we can advertise and have directors come in and tell us the thing that they've always wanted to direct, that they've always wanted to see on stage, that thing that's always spoken to them and their tastes in theater and life, and have them perform it on our stage. I think that would be a very beautiful thing to do moving forward.
Yeah, that sounds like an excellent event. I am super on board with that. I mean, 100%. The festival, in my mind, is a place to get people together, just enthusiastic people
Yeah.
who are really excited about performing arts, getting them all in one space, and amazing things can happen. So if you can get a bunch of directors who are super passionate about a certain project and get them all to pitch that to you, you're going to have the most amazing next season ever.
I think that would be great. And that festival is a perfect place to hunt for people, because I've made so many unexpected friends from being involved with Theatre Crude. There's just such a mismatch of these quirky characters that come and are involved with your festival. And I'm honored to be one of those characters, and I'm honored to have grown to be friends with a lot of those characters. And these relationships are going to last, because theater is meant to last.
Yeah, the use of quirky characters sort of makes me feel, because I know you are also a writer, that you have been secretly crafting some works of fiction based on your experiences at Theatre Crude. Is this an appropriate hunch from quirky characters?
Yeah, actually. I didn't think about it in that context, but yes, there have been some ideas rolling around in my noggin of some kind of loosely autobiographical ideas to put on a page. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I haven't told anyone about this, but I have an idea for a play. It's called Shock Rock. The show is about a writer and director for the screen, and he has an idea to do a biography of a famous shock rock performer, and things go wild from there, and he decides to write in the death of this character even though he's still alive, and all this stuff. So you can start seeing the autobiographical elements. Deadlines were tight, and driving himself crazy with his research. It's very much reflective of my experiences writing Jameson and Juice. So that was an idea that's been rolling around my noggin a little bit, and haven't found out the subject of the play yet, but there's so many interesting people out there. So I'm always up to writing about interesting people.
From that, theater related, I've been kicking around this idea that I wish I had more time to focus on. I don't know if you're familiar with the writings of H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's got a short story called The Rats in the Walls, which I think would make an excellent shadow puppet play.
Awesome.
So I've been working on adapting it into a script format, removing all of the insensitive racial bits, and trying to figure out how to stage it with puppets in place of all of the unspeakable monsters that show up.
That sounds really cool. Would this be something you'd think of doing for the festival at some point?
I would probably do it outside of the festival. It would be a little bit too, there's a word for it. Anyway, it's the festival that I run, so it would be very bizarre for me to apply to my own festival. It would really seem like I had strong-armed the selection committee to be like, hey, this is my thing. So
right,
it would happen completely outside a festival realm. But yeah, just a weird, quirky little thing that I think would be fun.
Well, I mean, come do it at Jewel Box. Well, we'll take you. Yeah, you know, in between seasons maybe, but we'll take it. Yeah, I love that. It's a cool idea.
Cool. Yeah. Is there anything in town that you have seen recently or looking forward to catching?
Yeah, you mentioned the play that OKC Rep is doing right now. I think it's a two-person show, an original two-person show. Am I right in that analysis?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for the show that they're doing up at OCCC next week. It's a playwright I've read a lot, but haven't seen much of his work on stage actually. And that's the Bald Soprano. Eugene Ionesco I believe is how you pronounce his name. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. But a great absurdist writer, and I'm glad that they're finally doing the Bald Soprano locally, because I'm really pumped to see that. I've read it and fell in love with it.
Do you know, is there a certain type of style that you are excited about exploring a little bit more? I guess for context, it was Brief Encounter was great to see. And I really enjoyed seeing that different presentation of a story in how it is a lot of body movement telling story. The lighting functioned as a character, the way it would like zoom in on somebody's face and then zoom back out to bring in the whole ensemble.
Yeah. Brief Encounter is a unique show because it was so hard to explain to people what it actually is, because it's based off a very classical piece, classic piece of Americana theater that was adapted into film and then adapted again back onto the stage in its film format. But it's done in such a postmodern stylistic way that your casual theater goers wouldn't quite understand what you're trying to talk about in regard to how Brief Encounter is. The best way I've been able to describe it to people is that it's a multimedia experience. And I think that's very fitting that we're talking about this now, because you had the overwhelming challenge of trying to adapt your festival during the pandemic into a virtual theater festival. And there was always that question looming over everyone's heads. Is it still theater? Is it film? Is it somewhere in between?
I don't think that question was looming. I'm pretty sure I asked it directly to everybody at the end of each performance.
I say it was looming because no one was able to answer it. It's a very complex question to ask. And Brief Encounter explored that a little bit with its use of projections and kind of jumping into the screen and out of the screen, and kind of explored like the relationship between a classic Americana black and white film and modern 21st century theater arts, which is very unique in of itself, because you'd think you'd switch the two. The theater is the classic one and film is the more new age type medium. So it was very cool the way that that piece was just a mismatch of all these different styles and representation of media in general, not just theater or film.
Yeah, so to circle back around, because I like taking the long way, is there anything on the horizon for Jewel Box that will be testing out new styles of performance or presentation?
That's hard to say, because we've only just started the tentative meetings into what's going to happen for next season. There has been discussions with a certain individual in the community who works as a theater arts professor at a school I will not mention, because I don't want to push anyone out of the closet of these early discussions quite yet. But she was wanting to do a piece of work that was a classic piece of absurdist theater. And she was unfortunately had to decline at the time because she was too busy. But I've replanted those seeds, and hopefully we can find a space for her. And I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten a little bit of pushback from a lot of the voices up here saying it may be a little too ambitious to do that quite yet. But I think it will help in the sense, even if somebody doesn't recognize the title, it brings in a whole new community to Jewel Box. I've not too far out of college myself, so bringing some of those college students in to do their work, and college professors, and overall the amazing local theater arts education programs we have in the area would do nothing but feed the community of Jewel Box rather than push people away. So that's my thinking. Whether this project's actually going to happen or not, I don't know. Like I said, we've only just started talking about it, and next season is still up in the ether of what's going on. We're still trying to figure that out. But I think that would be a really cool piece to bring in and help people understand that this is a newer jewel box that brings in newer ideas and newer styles of theater that some of the traditional jewel box goers from 20, 30 years ago may not be all that familiar with. And hopefully everyone will be better off for it and enjoy what they see. If it's not happening again next season, I do think it's going to happen at some point in the future, because experimenting with a historic theater is very difficult. It's not easy to appeal to everybody's tastes. So that's the challenge I'm facing, and I'm trying to push in one way, and that's why I have an amazing council of people who can try and push me back in another way. And somewhere along the road, we'll find a happy medium. But at some point, we're going to be introducing some very unique styles. And I'm really excited for that, because that's the kind of theater I like. So it's just selfishly, I like to watch them, whether it's at Jewel Box or elsewhere. We'll toy around with those ideas, and we'll see what comes of it at the end. But fingers crossed that we're able to bring in some new ideas into this historic place.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that trying some new things doesn't necessarily mean you're getting rid of all of the tradition.
Mhm.
It's still there. It'll still be part of it. It's just not exclusively the tradition anymore. And if I'm able to get on my little soapbox, it is my goal to get Oklahoma City to go to see things that they don't know what they're going to see.
Ooh.
Things can still be good if you don't recognize their name. You could still see a brilliant live performance, even if you've never heard of it before. It can still be good. It's okay.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. No, definitely. So we're going to try and find a good balance between recognizable titles and some new stuff that people may not have heard of next year. And hopefully we'll maybe see that the audiences were not that different between the two.
I don't know if you feel like you've got other things you want to talk about.
I'd like to just make another appeal to the community. Jewel Box is a very historic place, and we like to be here for a lot longer. So if you work in the theater arts community, backstage, on stage, as a designer or crew person, whatever your role is, contact us. We'd like to get you involved. We'd like to have you come over here and see if you can be part of the family. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine too. You're still going to be a part of this story that we made, and we'd love to have you in those storybooks for many years to come. If you happen to have a little bit of money and like the arts, toss it a little our way as well, because we're trying to pinch pennies right now. So if you're interested in donating to local theater, Jewel Box would be more happy to take those donations and put them towards something really useful. And volunteer. I mean, we're all part of a community here, whether we're paying you or not. And we would love for you to be involved in this great company and have a hand in what we're doing here, from the most well-known of directors or actors to somebody who volunteers for concessions one night. Everyone here is important. Everyone here is meant to feel like they're important and have a voice, and we'd love to give you that voice. so come out to Jewel Box and support what we're doing. And all those things I just said, do the exact same thing for Theatre Crude as well, because they're a great company, and I'm happy to be working with them to this day.
All right, great. Theatre Crude at the moment in less of an immediate need. Our festival's in September. But everybody else who wants to get involved in theater in Oklahoma City, Jewel Box. If you can't afford to donate, your time is just as valuable, sometimes more so. So I will put links to your website. And do you have a specific volunteer thing you would like me to point out, or just send them towards Jewel Box?
Yeah, our email address is jbt.boxoffice@gmail.com.
Great.
We do have a volunteer coordinator right now. His name's James Gordon. And once somebody contacts me with a desire to volunteer, I forward them directly to James, and he puts you on the schedule.
Yeah. The other way you can get involved in the theater community, Theatre Crude's applications for our 2022 festival are now open. Go to theatrecrude.org/get involved. You'll find the application there. So that's another way. If you're particularly performance inclined, or writer, or director, choreographer, clown, magician, the list just keeps going. But that's another outlet for getting involved in theater in Oklahoma City that I should mention on this channel that is supposed to promote this festival that I keep forgetting to do.
It's kind of the point.
I just get so excited talking to other people about what they're doing that I forget that I'm supposed to also be self-promoting. So I'm remembering this time.
Well, the unique thing about this conversation we're having now, Adam, your interests are our interests also, now that you're going to be lending over our space in September. So if you don't want to work with Jewel Box, but you want to work with the festival and still like our venue, come work with both of us. We'll make it happen. And I think this is going to be a good partnership, and I'm looking forward to how this goes.
Yeah. All right. Final thing, if anyone watching this has an upcoming theater piece that they would like me or Jenny or Derek to come see, give us a shout out, contact us. We'd love to see the work that you're doing. I specifically would love to see the work that you're doing. And if you're amenable to it, I would love to talk to you over Zoom about it afterwards. Get all nerdy and dissect it stuff. Yeah, because that's fun for me. Hopefully it is fun for you as well. Well, thank you for your time, Derek. I understand it's been a long day for you. I'll let you get back to whatever it was you were doing.
I always have time for you, Adam. You're my best friend, remember?
Yeah, BFF.
Yeah, forever. BFFF.
Best friends forever, forever. Yeah, I think the second half
already. Yeah. I haven't spoken the words that BFF abbreviates in so long. I didn't realize that forever was already included in it. Darn it.
The evolution of language. It's away from us.
No, I need to get back to texting and learn these phrases better. Yeah. Well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. Yeah. Let's all wave goodbye. Bye.
Bye, Adam. Bye, everybody at Theatre Crude. Bye, Jenny.
With it.
We need to give Jenny some screen time.
Jenny doesn't want screen time.
Yeah.
Jenny's anti-screen time, which is why everyone gets to see my face all the time.
Yeah. You are the more beautiful of the two. Don't tell her that. I said that would be something that you edit out.
Yeah.